Good morning. Welcome to People's Church. Will you join me in hearing these words as Brian lights our chalice this morning? Awaken to the Work by Suzelle Lynch. The fire of love burning deep in every human heart calls us to awaken. Awaken to the work of justice. Awaken to the work of compassion. Awaken to the work of community. For in this time of human suffering and exaltation, we are called beyond awakening into action. May the chalice flame we now light guide our hearts in service to a greater good that holds all living things in its holy embrace. Will you join me in our affirmation? Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Welcome to People's Church. We are a welcoming congregation and an eighth principal congregation. This means that we welcome people of all sexual orientations and genders, races, and ethnicities. We are anti-racist and anti-oppression of all groups of people, and we act on our beliefs. We welcome you whether you're a longtime member, a first-time visitor, or somewhere in between. We welcome you to walk with us as we all take our spiritual journeys through life, regardless of background, religious history, belief system, love life, social status, body type, or age. All are welcome here. If you are curious, courageous, and committed to growth, you are warmly welcomed to People's Church. Good morning. My name is Brian, and I'm one of the worship associates here at People's Church. I'm joined in the sanctuary by Judy on the piano. Jackie and Robin are running the tech. Bill Hart is running the sound system. Our preacher is interim minister, Pastor David Wise. And Joy Ward and Mark Clark are our special musicians today, otherwise known as Castle Ridge. We have a few announcements. Mark your calendars for Easter and Earth Day at Morgan Creek Park on April 17th. On April 14th, we will have a Holy Thursday service, and April 23rd, we will host a Seder led by the Bernsteins. Coffee hour will be downstairs following worship, and we have Kathy's Pie as our special snack. Empty Easter eggs are on the table in the hallway. People's has a tradition of people making the eggs, people taking the eggs home, and filling them for the Easter egg hunt. More information is in the weekly. I have one special announcement for those of you who are in the sanctuary this morning. Mark and Joy's selections for the special music are Prelude, Morning Has Broken, a traditional Irish hymn tune, Interlude, Blue Skies by Irving Berlin, and the postlude will be Bluebell by Merle Travis. The omission of that information from the printed order of service that you have is entirely my own bad. Okay. And now I believe the search committee has an announcement for us.
Good morning. You may have noticed that we didn't have an update in the April Voice, and that's because the first round of the search process wrapped up just after the Voice went out. So now that the first round is done, here's what I can tell you. We received 5 applications for our position from a wide range of very interesting people. 2 withdrew early, 1 we dismissed because we didn't think they were a good fit for us. And then we met the final 2 during March for lengthy interviews in person. One of our pre-candidates discerned after that they did not want to pursue parish ministry, and the other pre-candidate accepted a position with another congregation that better fit his family situation. So, the short version is, we did not match with the candidate the first round. And I know that may be very disappointing to hear. But we are not done. On our recommendation, the board has endorsed that we participate in the second round. This is a continuation of the current year's search process. We will begin receiving new applications on April 15th, do an accelerated review and interview process. But it is important to note that even though the process will be accelerated, we are not going to lower our standards. We are interested in finding a great fit for Peoples, not just a warm body. So, Keith Cron with the Transitions Office has told us we will be looking potentially at completely new people. Yes, some will not have matched the first round, and we'll be looking for additional opportunities, but there will be new people in the pool as well for a variety of reasons. Some are people who have just become eligible to go into search, and some, maybe they just weren't entirely sure they wanted to go into search in the fall, but now they're ready. So, to summarize, we do not have a candidate at this time, and we understand that may be disappointing, but not to worry, we are still on the case. We will be reviewing the second round of applicants soon and hope to have more news in the weeks ahead. And if you would like to ask us specific questions, we will be having a forum this month, so keep an eye out for that.
And now, let our worship begin.
Sorry about that. Our opening words this morning, Awaken to This Gift by Gretchen Haley. Open the door of your hesitant heart. Let the light shine. Shine on all the sleeping shadows. Awaken to this day that offers itself to you and to all with a great extravagance. Awaken to this gift, this beauty, this chance, that we might still begin again and anew, that we might be changed by the in and out of breath, that we might still burst forth like the crocuses, that we might still surprise this earth with a new song, sung together, calling us all in, and then sending us back out. And know it all as a blessing. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to stand as you are able. Hymn number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again. I think you'll notice that the font on the hymns is a little bit larger this week. Last week when I was in worship, I sat in the back row where Kathy and Bob are sitting this morning. And I sent an email to Christine during worship that morning saying, can we make the font a little bit bigger? Because it's really hard to see in that back row, even with 85-inch screens up here. The story for all ages this morning is called The Map Maker. There was once an expert map maker who made the most elegant maps. People loved to look at them, even if they weren't going anywhere. His maps were made so well, anyone could find their way from anywhere to the place they want to be. One day, a mysterious woman came to the map maker and told him she had found a great treasure. She wanted to share this treasure with others, but she felt it was very important for people to find a treasure of this kind on their own, rather than just giving it to them. So the woman told the map maker where her treasure was. And she asked him to draw a map that would help the people to find it. The map maker knew that he could create the perfect map for her. By the next morning, the map maker had finished the map and passed out copies for the villagers. The people were excited and curious as to what treasure could be. Everyone started out with a map which showed clearly the location of the treasure. They would start down one path and suddenly they would find that there wasn't a clear way to get where they thought they needed to be. The villagers spent the day going around in circles and getting lost. By the end of the day, they were exhausted and confused. That night, the mysterious woman went to see the map maker. She had heard what happened and told the map maker this was not what she had in mind. The map maker showed the woman his map. She could see that he had not drawn just one path to the treasure, the one she had taken, but rather he had drawn dozens of paths. And since they were all on one map, they were so jumbled, so no one could find their way. "Why did you draw so many paths?" the woman asked. The map maker explained, "I started to draw just the path you used to get to the treasure. But then I realized there were people in the village that wouldn't be able to go by this path. You see, the village elders would have difficulty climbing over the rocks on your path. And then I remembered the boy who was afraid of bears and how he wouldn't want to travel through the forest. Of course, there is the man who doesn't like to get his feet wet. So I had to include a way to get him over the stream and not through it." Pretty soon, I realized that each person needed a separate path, one that was best for them. The woman realized that what the map maker said was true and asked him if he would draw separate maps for everyone. Each person was given their own map, and everything worked out perfectly. The boy who was afraid of bears went on a path that was far from the forest, and the man who didn't want to get his feet wet stayed away from the stream. Do you know what the treasure was? Neither do I. I've told you the story just as I heard it. I can't begin to guess what the treasure was, but do know it is important to follow a path that is right for you, no matter what treasure you are seeking. That is one of the UU principles. Together, we help each other find the right path.
Our first reading today is Forget About Enlightenment by John Welwood. sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now. Not who you would like to be, not the saint you are striving to become, but the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You are already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out, touch in, let go. And now, please rise as you are able for hymn number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words. Then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. Our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place. Our second reading is an anonymous Buddhist story. It is said that soon after his enlightenment, the Buddha passed a man on the road who was struck by the Buddha's extraordinary radiance and peaceful presence. The man stopped and asked, "My friend, what are you? Are you a celestial being or a god?" "No," said the Buddha. "Well then, are you some kind of magician or wizard?" Again, the Buddha answered, "No." "Are you a man?" "No." "Well, my friend, then what are you?" The Buddha replied, "I am awake."
If I were the theatrical kind of pastor that you see on TV, I would be shouting, "Wake up," or something along those lines to you to get your attention this morning, because that's often what they do. Fortunately for you, that's not my style. So I'm not going to be yelling, "Wake up" to you by any means, but I am going to encourage you to wake up. Because this is a very important year in our country. We are heading into an election year with lots of decisions to be made, lots of people to be elected, and lots of things to happen. This is a membership Sunday here. We have someone joining the congregation this morning. We had a membership class, and some members of the class have decided to wait, but we do have one person joining the congregation this morning. So I thought it would be a good time to remind those of you who have been around for a while of a few things that might be beneficial in this year in particular. Let me remind you, first of all, of the principles. And I really like the kids' language of the principles. Makes it much easier to understand. We believe that each and every person is important. We believe that each person should be treated fairly and kindly. We believe that we should accept one another and keep on learning together. We believe that each person must be free to search for what is true and right in life. We believe that all persons should have a vote about the things that concern them. We believe in working for a peaceful, fair, and free world. We believe in caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. And for this congregation with the eighth principle, that we treat all people fairly regardless of color of their skin or where they came from or anything else. Those are the principles. Those are the things that Unitarian Universalists hold true to themselves. And in order to accomplish those principles, let me share a few things with you that can help do that. There are many ways to influence governments and politicians especially, all of which can shift laws, policies, and regulations. And sometimes, quite honestly, it may seem like a lost cause to try, because you know that the minds are made up and that nothing is going to be changed. But it is still a good opportunity to let them know that you, as a constituent, disagree with them for what they are doing. So you can meet with them in person to discuss an issue. Rallies, marches, and vigils are commonly used to protest the actions of politicians. And quite honestly, you could probably have one continuous protest right now in Iowa, going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Letters published in local newspapers, magazines, or blogs, Facebook, Twitter, especially Twitter. They're often read by the politician or their staff. So if you don't have Twitter, get Twitter, learn how to use it, and you can get a little bit of attention that way. campaigning for candidates. If you think there's a candidate who has the power to make a change that is important for your cause, you can support them and rally people to also support them. And it goes without saying, vote. Primary is coming up. Ballots are now available. The rules have been changed dramatically in relationship to absentee ballots. But if you do them in time, you can vote that way as well. A lot of corporations support various politicians and various causes. If you disagree with that, let them know that. They care about what consumers think. Brands are important to these companies, and if they see that their brand is being relegated to second-tier status, it sometimes will cause them to make some changes. Raising awareness with folks. Exposing an issue or a problem is often the first way to get people involved. People will only invest energy and time in a campaign when they understand why it is important, how they can help, and what the solution is. So raise the awareness, especially on Twitter and Facebook and the social media. Whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. You know, it's going to be here for a while, and people communicate that way. That's one of the big problems in this country right now, is all of the false information that is out there on Facebook and Twitter not being combated by the real information and not having the other side come out. So get involved with that. Share posts that you like. We have some from our Facebook page that you're more than welcome to share. There are Facebook posts that come from the UUA and other groups that can also be helpful and shared, and it's important to do that. And help educate people. Help people learn about the facts. Help them learn about the issues that affect them and that affect you in everyday life. Volunteer. It might be something as simple as making phone calls or sending postcards. Maybe you have the energy and the strength to go knocking on doors, and you're willing to face whatever comes when you knock on that door, which can sometimes be very interesting. You can lobby the officials. You can help with volunteering and campaigns to set up events or to organize coffees, teas, whatever the case might be. Obviously, all of the ways of donating, giving money to the candidate direct, holding fundraising events, appealing to your friends, sharing the news of the campaigns and the issues that you support with other people, and putting your extra dollars to a place where they can be used for the good of all. And changing behaviors. You know, when I was growing up, there really wasn't anything like recycling to speak of. But now, recycling is everywhere. It's been a behavior change. It has been a way of advocacy for a lot of folks throughout the years to get us to recycle, and now we do more recycling than you could ever imagine, I think, when they first started the campaigns. And it continues to improve and go on. But changing behaviors and sharing those things, like getting into electric cars or hybrids or whatever the case might be, it takes a while for it to happen, but eventually it can. In this pivotal year of an election, I urge you to stand up for your beliefs. Stand up for your principles and let people know that they are important to you and that they aren't just words on a piece of paper, but something that you live each and every day. And this congregation probably does it better than a lot of congregations. But there's still room to get a little bit better and to do a little bit more. So I encourage you as we enter this year to think about ways that you can be involved, to think about ways that you can help fight the issues that you are concerned about and to fight for the issues that you're concerned about as well. Amen. May it be so. Will you join me in prayer? Holy One, who has given us the breath of life, today we remember to breathe deeply, to rest, to take in, to pause before we act, and then to take in another deep breath poised on the edge and risk jumping in. Risk taking action. Risk speaking up. Risk using the gifts we have been given so that at the end of our life we can say with absolute clarity that no part of our existence was wasted in fear of failure or fear of success. Hold us. Prepare us the way to begin to offer the gift of our awakened presence, full of love and light today. These and the prayers of our hearts we lift up now. May it be so. Amen. This is the time in our worship service for candles. A time when you will light a candle for something on your heart. Brian and I will each light candles and place them in the bowl. For those of you who would like to participate, you are invited to come down the center aisle. Take a candle, light the candle, place it in the bowl, and then go back out by the side aisles. And please be aware of social distancing. Brian and I will light candles this morning for the situation in Ukraine, for all of those issues that worry and concern us, especially those related to the transgender community, and for all of those who have been lost to COVID. We invite you to come. A congregation is constantly changing. And that's good. Because if a congregation stays the same, it is a congregation that is dying. So it's always good to have change. Whether that change is new people coming into the congregation, whether it's new ideas, new thoughts, new programs, or whatever the case might be, there has to be something that changes to make it a different place. Otherwise, it dies. And it is good this morning to have an official change in the membership of the congregation. We had a class, we had, I think, 10 people that expressed interest in it. It didn't work out for everyone's schedule, and some are deciding to wait a little while to join the congregation. But this morning, Russell Carista, did I get it at least close? Close enough, okay. Is joining us. If you've had a chance to talk to him, you'll know that he is from Boston, and he is very proud of his Boston heritage, and I don't blame him. I'm proud of my Florida heritage as well. He lives here in the area and was a postman. And how many miles did you walk in those years? 29,000. I'm sorry? 49. 49,000 miles. Now, I know some of you are walkers, and some of you are bikers, but that's a lot of miles. That's a lot of miles to be walking. So we are delighted that Russell has decided to join the congregation here, and as the tradition goes in this congregation, when we dedicate a child, they get a rose with no thorns. When a person joins the congregation, we give them a rose with thorns because they are able to maneuver life and they are able to deal with those issues that may come up in life and work through them. So we are delighted this morning, Russell, that you are joining us. I would invite you to come up and to sign the membership book. And by the way, the last time we had members join in a ceremony was May 5th of 2019. So it's been a little while. So if you would like to sign, just right there, and Brian has the rose for you. You can keep the pen. It's not a presidential pen, but you can keep it. Welcome. Now, we always buy extra roses. Brian, you're not finished yet. We always buy extra roses just in case something happens. So who has been a member of this congregation the longest? And I think there are at least two candidates that I know of off the top of my head. So who does it go to? Is it Dorothy or is it Rose? Well, you know what? We got two roses. Give them each one. That way we can not worry about it. All right, let our worship continue.
Now is our time when the offering is taken. It's also the first Sunday of the month and the first month of the second quarter. So, as is our custom, on the first Sunday of each month, our collection is dedicated to a particular charity or good cause that we want to support. And now we're beginning the second quarter, so we're going to be having our collections go to Fair Fight Action, founded by Stacey Abrams, with these words: "I'm making it my mission to advocate for free and fair elections. Join our fight and ensure access for democracy for all." Fair Fight Action was formed to work across the country to organize collective efforts to expose, mitigate, and reverse voter suppression. FFA brings awareness to the public on election reform and advocates for it at all levels. There are 4 ways to give. If you are in the sanctuary, there are offering plates in the back. You can mail a check to the church, donate online at peoplesuu.org, or use the Venco mobile app to send us money via the internet. Thank you, and now back to Castle Ridge. And now, for our last hymn, would you please stand if you are able and help me sing number 1014 in the Teal Supplement, Answering the Call of Love. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love above. And so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Answering the call of love.
Will you join in the words to extinguish our chalice? We extinguish this chalice flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace, taking action and living your principles day to day. Amen.